So the 60 is ready for some color tomorrow. I got the dash prepped up and ready. I'm only painting the dash tomorrow. The reason for that is because to try and paint the car and the dash with these in the way, to get in there and get out with, if you're spraying clear on the rocker, it's an accident waiting to happen. So I'm going to do the dash. I'm going to focus on only the dash. I've already got the clusters already painted, the glove box doors painted and all that. So in the morning we're focusing only on the dash, and then we can clear it and all that, and then put it out, let it bake, and then when it comes time to paint the entire thing, mask the dash off. So if you break it up into little pieces, it's easier to do, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna do.
And you get a cleaner job. So the dash is going to be this color, the color of the car, 1960 Cascade green, and this is what we were originally going to use for the side stripe, but I decided against it, so this is no bueno.
Number 2.
And we're going with number 2, which is this one. So these two colors. So color of the car, color of the side stripe, or paint divider if you want to call it, two-tone steering wheel, and then this is going to kind of match the side panels and the seats. So I got to go get some paint made for that color. But might be a little loud. We got the AC working, which is better than sitting here in 100 degrees.
Which it brought the temperature down to from 100 down to 88.
88.
But it feels like it's in the 70s.
Yeah, it feels good.
Feels good in here.
Feels good. So what we was talking about.
Well, the question came about, the reason some of these cars don't get built, or like regular old Joe, right? Doesn't know much about cars, but he wants to do a project car.
Sure.
Right, and they get scared away on these projects because they got to do rust repair, right?
Yes.
And
it's very intimidating. It's overwhelming. But the conversation can go on for a very long time, because you got to know what you're buying. Okay, it's amazing that. Okay, for example, this car as it sits right now, this is on a body cart. It's just the shell. There's no doors, there's no fenders, there's no front clip, there's no trunk. It's the shell and the top rack. Okay. As this thing sits, what's it worth? As what we're looking at right now, what's this worth? And I think, me personally, it's worth like probably between 12 and 15,000, which some people might say, man, you're smoking dope, right? It's worth 2,500. Okay, but I think being that it's solid, the floors have been redone, the quarters have been reworked, and it's basically one sand. It's 600 grit away from a paint job. Okay, which that means this thing is 8 hours away from a paint job, literally. Okay, so some people might think this thing is worth $2,500, man, because it's not even on a frame. It's hardly even a car, right? Okay, but let's look past that. Okay, let's just say that I think it's worth between $10,000 and $12,000. Okay, let's throw the doors on it, which I have. Let's throw the doors on it and the trunk. Now it's looking more like a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now the price it went up, because you got solid doors and you got a solid trunk, and they're on the car. They're on the car. So now we're talking, I think we're getting closer to about 18. Throw the fenders on, throw the hood on. Now we're at 25 or better for a solid 60 convertible. Or I think way better.
But it's all about perception.
Sure. Okay. But really, I can have the doors and the trunk on in in 4 hours, 8 hours. Let's be generous, 8 hours.
So in a day's work, you can flip it from let's say 12,000 or 2,500, what somebody would think, right?
Yep.
To a $20,000 car.
To a $20,000 car by putting doors and trunk and painting some fenders. Okay. So when people want to build a car, you know, mainly Impalas is what we deal with, you know, from 59 or 60 to 64s. In my opinion, fenders don't even count. Fenders don't even matter, because now if you have some rock solid fenders, which are really hard to find, by the way, you know, they're going to want $400 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
So if you buy this car and it ain't got no front clip, it looks like shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, you want $14,000 and ain't got no front clip. Well, the fenders ain't shit. The fenders are only $400 each or $300 each. So we're talking $600 to $800 to get some fenders.
But I think it's because the average Joe, the person that doesn't really work on cars, is not knowing that they're in their mind they're thinking, I mean, I got to deal with all this extra stuff
right
that I wasn't planning on.
Yeah, you're right. So it's pretty amazing how it can go from, you know, nothing to $10,000 by just bolting on some parts and making it look complete, which is what a lot of people do to get rid of the car, okay, or to unload it, you know, with bad intentions. Let's throw the door on there that it's got rust holes and shit, and then let's spray it with the water hose. Let's spray it with the water hose and take some pictures.
That's some shiny.
Make it shiny, and people see it, and they're like, oh wow, it doesn't need a lot of work until you start working on it. And me personally, I prefer to buy a vehicle in pieces. To some people, they'd rather buy a car driving down the street. I'd rather buy a car in pieces, as long as the important pieces are there and the important pieces are good. I'd rather buy the car in pieces, because when you buy a car in pieces, honestly, I'd rather buy a car in bare metal. I'd rather buy a car that's just been sandblasted before they put anything on it. Sandblast it, show me what it is, and we'll talk. I don't want to buy a shiny car, because you can make you can polish a turd. You can make a turd look shiny. Yeah. I'd rather buy bare bones. That's just how I do it. But
you see what you're getting.
You see what you're getting. But, you know, I mean, but also, you know, I have time to do this, and you know, some people don't, man. Some people say, man, you know, I ain't got time to fool with that.
But sometimes you get a deal. You know, if it's worth the price. What if, I mean, it's got some hidden stuff, but it's too good of a price to pass up on, man.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
You could probably deal with some stuff.
The problem lies when somebody wants top dollar.
Yes.
For a car that when you finally take it apart and see what you got, it's a $2,500 car. Okay, that's where the deception lies. Yeah. Because
you could have gotten a $2,500.
You could have got a $2,500 car, but instead you spent $15,000.
Yeah.
And you need all this work. And so you just threw away, you know, 12 grand or whatever, or more, or, you know, hopefully not a whole lot more, but or you buy something you thought was a real convertible, which was a conversion, or, you know, I mean, the list goes on and on. That's why I prefer to buy a car in pieces. I don't care about shiny paint. I don't care about any of that. Like, I want to.
Most of the time, you're gonna redo the paint anyways.
It's very hard to find a car exactly how you want. It's very hard to find a 60 Impala convertible with green paint and green interior, with an LT motor, with digital dash, power seat, tilt steering, air conditioning, Continental kit, cruiser skirts, wrap frame. You're not going to find that.
Whoa, man!
That's the only way. The only way you can achieve that is if you do it yourself.
You just went above everybody else's league.
The only way you can achieve that is if you do it yourself, or you pay somebody a fortune to do it for you.
Yes, definitely.
The car is so specific that you can't go on eBay and buy it.
Yes.
Now, you can go buy a red 60 convertible with red interior and a white top, with a 348 tri-power or a 283. There's probably two on eBay right now. They probably want 100 grand.
Yes.
You can go buy a red or a white 59 Impala convertible for probably $175,000, right? But it's not going to be, you know, Gothic gold or suntan copper or the color that you want.
Yes.
The only way you're going to achieve that is if you were to buy one of those cars and then repaint it.
Yeah, so now you spend a whole bunch of money on something that you're going to redo anyway.
That you're going to redo anyways.
Yeah.
So why not buy one that needs a paint job?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
And even at that, then you really got to start nitpicking that, because what's underneath all the work that's already been done to get it to that point of the paint job, you know?
Absolutely.
Body work and all that stuff, metal work.
So in a minute, here we'll go next door and show exactly what we're talking about here. But what I'm trying to say is, right now this thing looks like crap. It ain't got no doors. It ain't got nothing.
Well, to you.
To me, yeah, and it's probably everybody watching the video. Like, man, this car's a piece.
Well, I don't know, but a lot of people that watch the videos, they know.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, this car is 10 times better than the crap I see out there.
Sure.
You know, so.
You know, like when I was shopping for this car,